Hi. So this is how we're going to fix frizzy hair. I don't actually have a pony at the moment with very frizzy hair. I've got Pinkie Pie though, so we're just going to pretend that she has really frizzy hair. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're basically just going to lather her up with conditioner, completely dry. Rub it in, just like you would with the kids' hair. So just wrap it around, get it all over there. Now, there's a bit of a technique with getting the comb, I've got a fine tooth comb, through the hair. Basically, what you want to avoid doing is stretching the hair. It is made out of plastic, so if you pull too hard trying to get the knots out, then it will pull. So with the particularly frizzy hair, we start at the very ends and we basically just work through. Now usually with ponies with very frizzy hair, this is the hardest part. This is where all the frizz will end up. So you want to take it nice and slow. So grab the ends and work it through. Now with the actual comb, rather than pulling it through, you want to sort of be moving the knots out rather than trying to push them out. So with the technique that I use, it's more of a roll than a pull through like that. So you want to sort of roll it. Once you start getting the knots out of the end, then you go just a little bit further out and you start rolling the knots out all the way to the very end. Now with ponies that have frizz, you are going to lose some hair. That's just a reality, so don't freak out about that if that ever happens. And if you find that the pony's hair is not even and some of it has been pulled out, then like this here, you can just fix that at the very end. So don't worry about playing with that at the moment. What you'll find with ponies with frizzy hair is that it will boof. So because Pinkie Pie here doesn't really have frizzy hair, it's looking nice and straight and silky already. But what you'll find with the frizz, it will boof out at the ends. But that's okay, I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. Now in the background here I have the kettle going. You don't want to pour boiling hot water on a pony. You could make the frizz worse, or you could actually damage the pony, particularly if you're doing a G1. So what we'll do is we'll just get Pinkie Pie. If you can see, I'm giving it a flick, so she's got something in there. So I'll just use the tip of the comb and try and break some of that frizz, or whatever that is, the knot, out. Use the conditioner to your advantage. It is going to be all slippery, but that will actually help lubricate the hair to release some of those knots. Okay, so now we have Pinkie Pie. She's all nice and slippery and straight. I'll just do her tail. There's not too much conditioner that you can use. It will all eventually come out. Okay, so we have little Pinkie Pie now and she's all ready to go. So we'll go to the kitchen and we'll work on the frizz. Hi, so the kettle boiled a couple of minutes ago. I've got a sink full of dishes. Just wash some of that conditioner off my hands because I don't want to get slippery. And I'm using the sink drainer. And then what you want to do is you want to lay the pony out. And I'll just move that so you can see. Maybe that might not work. No. There we go. So I want to lay the pony out. Now what will happen is with the frizz, usually you're going to get the frizz sort of more towards the end. But you want to straighten out as much as you can. Then you want to get your fine tooth comb again. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You really got to make sure that you don't burn yourself. So we've got the kettle here, and we're going to pour it over Pinkie Pie's hair. Then we get the comb and we move it through. When you hit the frizz, or the part that's really hard, you stop and you give it a short pull. Now what this is actually doing is it's re-straightening the hair. It is plastic, so that what essentially you're doing is you're melting the plastic to go straight. Then when it cools down, give it another pull and pull it out. Now depending on how the frizz is going, you might want to do it again. Whoops. And pull until it stops, hold until it cools down, and then pull it through. Basically you might need to do that a few times until you can get the comb all the way through. So like I said, the idea is, it's a bit hard with Pinkie now because she's all soft and silky. What the idea is you want to be stretching the hair. So it's like that, and then you hold. Try and get to the ends as much as you can, so you pull it. When it cools down, hopefully it will become a little bit more straighter. Then once we've done that, that will help with the defrizzing. I'll just give her a bit of a wash, because now it's time for the next stage. So I'll see you in a second. So the next stage of the helping with the frizz is to use a hair straightener. So I'll just give Pinkie Pie a bit of a dry. It just makes it easier to do the hair straightening. Now, out of this whole process, the hair straightening is the most important, because the hair straightener can be the make or the break of what happens. Now this one, it's quite old, it's called a Pro Style, but what the advantage of this particular one is that you can change the temperature. Now because the pony's hair is plastic, if you use a too high temperature, it will absolutely burn. So if you do use a hair straightener, try and find one that has an adjustable, I don't know if you can see that, what's that on at the moment, that's on 120. So as far as this straightener is concerned, this is the lowest setting that it goes on, it's 120. I think it goes up to like 170, 180. So you want to initially use this at a lower setting, depending on how quick and how confident you are using the hair straightener. You can actually go up to a higher level. So try and get rid of as much of the hair as possible. When you do put the hair straightener in, you will hear a hissing noise, and that's just the water being dried off. Don't panic, that's completely normal noise. But what you want to do is just try and go initially through as quickly as possible. So grab it at the base and pull it all the way through. You can see, I don't know if you can see very well, but we've got some steam coming out of it. Now, hair with frizz, you want to be combing it as you're straightening it, okay? Because again, it's about the heat and the stretching. So you get the hair straightener, pull it all the way through, okay, and then give it a brush, and that again is the same as the kettle. You're pulling the hair. What the hair straightener is also doing, it's flattening the hair as well, which isn't ideal, but it looks better than the frizz. So you go through. Always brushing it after you've done a couple of rounds, because the hair straightener will set any misshapen hair into that shape. So we want Pinkie Pie's hair straight, and then giving it a push all the way through. So if Pinkie Pie's hair was kinked and you put the hair straightener through that kink, it will dry the kink in that position. And then go through another comb. The good thing is with babies is they don't have a lot of hair, and it's not very thick either. A lot of the G1s have quite thick hair. So what you would do in that case is you would split it into sections, give it a brush, put the hair straightener through, and just keep going on like that. Now, if you were wanting to curl hair, there's a couple of ways that you could do it. With frizzy hair, it needs to be dried first and then re-wet. So I would do this process like I've shown you. And then once you've got the frizz out as best as you can either re-wet the hair just under cold water and then put them in your curlers, and then you can use your boiling method or whatever method that you feel comfortable using. I've used a few methods with G1s. Their hair is, like I said, a lot thicker, so the setting needs to be more permanent. And so I use the boiling method, but with these girls, because their hair is a lot thinner, simply putting them in curlers like straws or whatever seems to keep their hair in a lot better condition. So there we have Pinkie Pie.